What up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And all these. That's Lil Bill. I'm trying to get him to stop making some noise for a bit. Thank you. Jesus Christ. You guys already know my apprentice Deja has not worked. She did the suspension on my car. So yeah, ever since she did the suspension on the car. So anyways, yeah, I'm back on the 2018 whatever Honda Accord. I decided to cut that side of the chassis off because it was way too mangled. You can see how thin this is right here. This should be at least up to here. It shouldn't be so squished here. So what I'm gonna do is when I put the new one, I'm gonna box everything in. I'm gonna make it stronger than what it was from the factory. This side, however, I was able to save because it actually pulled straight. And when I put the new subframe on, oh, that was another thing. Lil Bill hit the car so damn hard that he bent the subframe on this side. So I put the new subframe on, and you can see the lettering is still there, but whatever. Everything is still kind of loose, but once I put the new subframe here, that'll all look a lot better. And on this side, I'm not gonna leave anything to chance. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the same 1/4" steel that I used for my K-Series Honda Fit project, and I'm gonna box this in right here just for good measure, just to add a little bit of strength on this side, because this is so thin, and it's for some stupid reason it's curved here and is like that from the factory, because this is the new side. If you guys can see right here, it's the same curve. So Honda does that so that when you get into a front-end collision, everything crumbles in the front, and it saves you from getting all of this pushed back into the driver's compartment. So it's a safety thing. So if you guys see over here, I don't know if you can see how bent that is. If you look at the new parts, it shouldn't be that bent the way it is over there. It's a lot straighter. That was the factor that told me, hey, stupid ass, cut it, put a new one. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna have Lil Bill over here finish drilling out the spot welds on the new pieces, so that when I put everything on, everything is going to be 100% from the factory, because I went to the junkyard behind me and I got the whole half cut in the front. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it out from here and literally put the whole front structure new to the car, because this car was hit once before, and since it was hit before, they pulled that side of the frame exactly where Bill crashed it the second time. So I didn't want to leave anything to chance, like I said before, and I said, you know what, fuck it, let's just cut it, put it new, reinforce it, strengthen everything up really nice, and know that he's not gonna kill himself. Damn, look at my hair. I gotta cut my hair. I'm looking kind of crazy. Anyway, so yeah, let me get back to that. Okay, so it's the next day, and I'm back on the Honda Accord Sport. I wonder what the hell the difference between. Well, there's only one difference really between the Accord Sport and an LX, is the 7-speed transmission. That's it. It doesn't even have a fucking push button. The new ones do. The 2020 and 21, they have the push button. Now, anyway, so yeah, that's how it's looking. You guys can see I literally cut everything off, and I'm gonna join it right here. Yes, I know there's a gap here, but that gap is gonna disappear because you can see the same gap that's down there is up here. This is gonna go inside here. So you see this line right here? This line comes up to here, so it's gonna come in more. What I did was, it's just like on there just to see, so that I can start. Now what I'm gonna start doing is I'm gonna start trimming this part right here, because if you look really closely, this spot weld is literally that one. So I cut this longer because, you know, just in case. I'd rather have more than less. So the subframe is on it. So right now everything will line up. If you can see, everything is loose. So once I start trimming this back little by little, this will get a lot closer. So if you guys can see right here, that is right here. So now you can get this right here is this part right here. So you can get an idea how much I'm gonna have to trim. Damn, I hit myself. I can't make this shit up. I try to play it off, but that little pain just got me. What I'm gonna start doing is, once I start trimming everything and fit everything up really nice and tight, it'll give me a better weld point. And once I reinforce it and box it all in, it's gonna be brand new, baby. So yeah, let me get started. Okay, so I started trimming everything up. I got this side mounted. It's not 100% on there. As you can see right there, I gotta move the structure forward just a tad. And right here, as you can see, the gap is completely closed. Now what I did was, the back piece ends over here behind it, and this piece overlaps it. I did it like that because of course it's gonna be a lot stronger if I weld around here, and then I'm gonna box this part in because this was already fucked up from before. So what I want to do here, I'm gonna get the same quarter inch angle iron that I'm gonna use here. I'll show you right now. All right, so I'm gonna cut and trim this to put this right there to strengthen it, and then I'm gonna bridge it down here so that we're structurally sound on the top all the way down to the bottom. So it's gonna make it a lot stronger. Now this has to go back a little bit further, so I'm not worried about that little gap. It's gonna close up. Now it'll be plenty strong if I just weld this up right here real nice, but I'd rather go the extra mile and you know, weld it true. Now you can see how far back it has to go. This should be under that spot weld. So that's how far back I gotta go on this side. I just mounted everything just to be sure that it was gonna line up. Now I'm gonna put this fender on real quick so you guys can see how that looks. All right, so I got the fender on and everything is loose on this side, but if you can see, it's almost perfectly lined up and it's still loose. Once I put all the bolts in, all this will start closing up really nice. Let me see, there you go. See, once I start putting all the screws, that gap will close. Everything will look pretty good. So I think what I'm gonna start doing is I'm gonna start welding this gap. I'm gonna start stitching all this up. I have no pressure with this yet, So I'm gonna start giving this some pressure so I can close the gaps, and yeah, get this thing on and popping. Woo! Get this thing done and out of my shop finally. But if you remember the previous video when I first got this car in here, you could have seen that it was like this. It was horrible. So now you can see where it's supposed to be. So yeah, you can see right here where the level is at is just slightly off, but it's because a bunch of stuff started falling underneath the frame table. So the frame table is a smidge off. Let me see. It's about that much off. So if you compensate, if you look at how the level is there, it's exactly the same right there. So that tells me that everything should be level. Now I leveled it before. I made sure that everything was completely flat, flush, everything was good. But like I said, a bunch of stuff, there's a bunch of crap in there that fell, like the bolts, old bolts that came out of there because the guys in the back, in the shop behind mine, are doing construction, and a bunch of stuff started hitting my walls and everything just collapsed and just fell underneath the table. But I know that it's straight, and I've measured a whole bunch of stuff to make sure that it was straight. So what I'm gonna start doing now is I'm gonna start tack welding everything to make sure that everything is gonna stay put together, and keep going from there. Okay, people, there we go. I got everything. I got the couple spot welds here. It's weird because from the factory there's only one spot weld here, and then it has these two. So I decided I'm gonna give it a nice little stitch weld there. I welded these two over here, and I started welding the seam right here. No, this is not, there's no gap there. I welded it again because I wanted to, I just put more weld on top of it because I wanted to make sure that it was penetrating really good. That's what she said. And it was. So yeah, there's no gap there. It's just I wanted to add more weld onto that, but it looks just like this all the way down. I just added more. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have to move the engine down. I gotta take the subframe off and start moving stuff around. Later when I put the subframe back on, I'm gonna put the plate, and I'm gonna put the plate here to bridge that, and it's gonna look pretty. Ooh, I almost fell. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove this fender, and I'm gonna start welding that, and probably weld these together so that I can have everything nice and tight, and keep going from there. All right, so I got everything welded up. I got this welded. I got the bottom. I added another plate just for good measure. What else? I got all this finished up and welded. I put the engine back on. I added more welding to this, the bottom. This is all welded up. It's all welded up in here, like I said before. Yeah, and the subframe is back on. And yeah, there you go. Look at that. I measured everything. I put the straight edge on the table, and I measured the frame rails. They measured out almost spot on perfect. So yeah, since it's good, I'm just gonna leave it like that, the way it is. The next video, I'm gonna have everything painted. Well, not everything, because I'm gonna paint the radiator support and everything with it. I'm gonna seam seal it so that everything looks original from the factory. And I'm gonna go over everything. I'm gonna make sure that everything is 100% welded, that I didn't forget anything, because I might have forgotten a couple of welds here and there. Actually, you know what? Now that I think of it, I did. I missed 2 spot welds on the passenger side where I welded everything. There's a piece of metal that goes underneath the apron that needs to be welded. But yeah, this is where I'm gonna leave this video. The next video, I'm gonna paint everything. You guys will see that. So for Gianna's Auto, I'm Jose. If you guys like the videos, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.